out in just a couple months, and then Gears 4 to end that Microsoft conference. It really was the great way to just send off that conference.
Gears 4 looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
So good. I'm really excited to play that when that one comes out. But, of course, lots of Gears of War, people in the community getting very, very excited with all the cool stuff being announced.
Now, if you guys missed it, we sent out Mr. X and Maven on Monday to go check out Gears of War and Halo 5. They got a chance to see the new game and the old game. More importantly there, with the Ultimate Edition coming around, a lot of excitement was drummed up on that ESR show, and one of our former MLG pros, NJCUBANO, reached out to us about joining the show. He's now joining us live to discuss his thoughts on the Ultimate Edition. The beta has been out. It was announced Monday. It's going through Tuesday, I believe. Cubano, man, it has been way too long since I've seen you. How you been, my friend?
How you doing, guys? It's good to be back. Good to talk to some familiar guys that I've I dealt with. It's always good to be working with MLG. I'm happy to be here.
So Gears of War, of course, MLG. We had it around. It was kind of in its heyday back 2007, 2008. But then it kind of went away for a bit before Hype Festation came around, and we saw kind of a rebirth of grassroots tournaments going on. Where has Gears been the last few years? Kind of talk us through what happened after it left the MLG Pro Circuit.
Well, once it got off of the MLG Pro Circuit, we had Hype Festation bring it back. Definitely revived it with Gears 3. They had been running tournaments every couple of months, just doing what they can to keep the game going, try to keep the interest built up. We honestly could thank Hype Festation and Captain Barbosa. There recently was just a Winter Brawl 9 Hype Festation that myself and Team Raw Talent attended. The events were great. The prizes were great. It definitely helped us with this new game coming out, bring even more hype to it prior to E3 coming out.
And I know there's been a whole lot of you guys getting right back into the action. You've been all over the beta. Let's talk the Ultimate Edition first. This is a throwback. It's a compilation of all the Gears up till now. What have you liked about the beta so far? What are your thoughts about it? Of course, this announcement just came. PC Gamer E3 briefing. Gears of War Ultimate Edition will also be available to Windows 10. Gears PC was the hashtag used. But so far from what you've seen on the Xbox One, what are your thoughts on the game?
I think the game's great. Honestly, they took Gears of War 1, made it better, They cleaned up the maps a little bit. They're making the guns a lot better. Overall, it's exactly like Gears of War 1, but enhanced. It's the remastered edition. It's an HD now. Very similar to probably the greatest competitive game that Gears ever made. There are little tweaks here and there. There's glitches, but that's what the beta's there for. My teammate Immortal Spawn and other players, pro players, any player, spectators, that's what they're here for the beta. I think we have a great support cast with the Coalition doing as much as they can to fix the game up before the primary release August 25th. But honestly, I love the game. If everyone played Gears of War, this is the game to get into.
Obviously, as Puckett said earlier on at the start of the show, we sent out Mr. X and Maven over to E3. And one of the big things Mr. X said, he loves the Gears of War franchise, he was saying that now the game plays at 60 FPS, it feels a little bit different than it did playing at 30. Is that something which is like a noticeable difference?
Yes, he's definitely right about that. The game is a little bit faster. Gears of War 1 in general was probably the slowest one out of Gears 1 all the way to Judgment. This one is a little bit sped up, which is a good thing. Okay. It's a little bit of a mix between Gears 1 and I would say maybe like a Gears 3 movement-wise. So he's definitely right about that.
Right. New games coming out here. Gears 4, of course, we've seen gameplay from it, but Ultimate Edition is coming out first. For those who want to get involved in the Gears community right now to start competing, what's the best way to get started, Cubano?
Definitely start with this game. You guys got to jump on this game. Find a group of guys. That's honestly how I started when I was 16 playing Gears of War 1. That's how I ended up meeting Rob. From there, we picked up two other guys. Excel, which, Puckett, Excel.
Oh, yeah.
We picked up Void. These are guys that we knew in and outside of the game. Just build a relationship. That's how a lot of the big teams are very successful. But definitely you got to start from day one grinding, playing, meeting guys, going to the events. And just doing your best. Never give up and just keep going. That's how anybody should do it with a sport.
Now, there's been a lot of hype around the Ultimate Edition, the beta going on this week. Also, though, at the conference, they showed off Gears 4 gameplay. In your eyes, Cubano, What do they need to do to make it a successful competitive title?
Honestly, the ball's in their court as of right now. At Haifa Station, they had one of the representatives from the multiplayer team there, speaking to my team and every other team there, just picking up what we need to change, maps, settings, spectator mode. I mean, honestly, we're giving them everything that we want to make the game competitive. I feel like the Coalition's doing a great job listening, but going forward, they need to do their thing. Honestly, they have all the tools and the people on staff to do it.
I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for the whole Gears community, and I know there's been a lot of talk outside the community, a lot of teams getting interested in Gear squads now. Raw talent has always been a staple, and I know you have a special announcement. You've been talking with some Call of Duty brand owners. What's your announcement today, Mr. Cubano?
Well, yeah, I was waiting for the show, obviously, after speaking with you and you having me on the show. We have been talking to a bunch of Call of Duty organizations, and I think we found our home with one of them. It's Justice. I've been talking to him for a while now, Rick, the owner, and we are in the process of signing on with them. We're going to be going through contract talks within a week or so. But you definitely could say that Raw Talent is going to be picked up by Justice, a Call of Duty big organization, as everybody knows.
Yeah, that's great.
Congratulations to you and your squad. Rick, great guy. We all know and love him here from the Call of Duty community. Here's a look at Raw Talent. You got Void, Mence, Immortal, and NJCUBANO. Is this the four-man roster that we're going to see moving forward, Cubano?
Yes, sir. You're going to see those guys playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition Day 1.
All right. Well, big shout out to you. Congrats on the Justice pickup. Excited to see you in the blue jerseys. And, of course, congrats to all the Gears fans. You got something great to look forward to. It's awesome to hear that not only are they repackaging the old games, but they're actually taking the time to tweak it. You mentioned that there's been a few changes. Before I let you go, what are some of the big ones that you've seen so far in the beta that have enhanced the gameplay?
It's definitely the weapons. I mean, they're tweaking weapons, whether it's ammo, damage on them. The Lancer was extremely overpowered in Gears of War 3. They're dumbing down the damage a little bit, adding less ammo to it. There is a debate, which I'm sure you guys should know about the active sniper, whether we keep it or not. It's pretty much split down the middle right now about that.
Yeah.
So they're having it tested. Yesterday they had it on, and today for the whole day for everybody to know they're going to have it off.
And for those who aren't as familiar, what is this debate?
The active sniper. Basically, when you hit an active with the sniper and you go and hit somebody, it could be anywhere, on the foot, the head, the arm, anywhere, they go down instantly. The only way to get back up, obviously, is to get revived. It can be annoying, but it also wasn't a big factor when Gears of War 1 was on MLG and the circuit. It was never that much of a factor if you move as a group and, there's smokes and whatnot. So there are ways to prevent it, but I think more on a casual gaming-wise, it's becoming an issue.
And, of course, in that B-roll you saw from Maven, not a single active reload was hit. But the active reload is when you hit that sweet spot. Makes your weapon a little bit more powerful.
I sense we could have sent someone slightly better.
Yeah, a little bit better. If that was Matt's gameplay, Maven, I apologize, Matt. You stepped your game up. Definitely falling off. Cubano, last question for you. Who is the best player currently in Gears right now? Who should we look to be at the top of the leaderboard come launch in August?
Oh, man, that's a rough one.
You can say yourself, too.
Yeah, honestly, since it's a new game, new teams, new faces, I'm going to go with myself on this one.
There you go.
It's just who I am and how I've been since I've been playing Gears. I'm very confident. Some people may consider it cocky, but hey, you know what? New game. I'm going to go out there, put on a show for everybody, and that's how I feel.
All right, thank you so much for joining us live here on the ESR. Guys, that is NJCUBANO. He's got a code to give away, as told on Twitter. So follow him there at NJCUBANO. I'm excited for the Gears dudes. We had Ty in the office. He hung out with Sepso and I just a week ago. He's one of the streamers here on MLG.TV. Everyone's getting pumped. It's kind of like I was last year right before MCC, except this one might be the proper launch.
Yeah, this one should work.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm excited. So Gears back on the rise, but we saw plenty new games getting announced throughout the week. Jack, what's coming up for us later on in this show?
We're doing an entire breakdown of all the conferences we saw, giving them our grading. I'm sure there'll be some very strong opinions from Benson, to say the least. He's been yelling in the office all day long
about
the grading that people have been giving. You do not want to miss out on that. And then also, obviously, the bracket show for the Season 3 relegation tournament. You can look forward to that as well.
All right, we took all of the video team members and asked them to provide grades.
I'm not happy.
Ben was raging and causing fights out in the bullpen. We'll tell you why he's upset after the commercial break, starting with Bethesda.